So here I have the keyboard race code program already completed. I wanted to show you how it worked, and then I'll go through the code with you. So the project runs by I'm the keyboard and I press any key in order to move my character across the screen. The computer's moving on its own with the timer, and whoever crosses the finish line first wins, and then the timer stops. We'll show you that little trick in just a sec. Alright, so in order to get it to do this, let's go through kind of what the code is doing. The first thing you have to do is rename our class. Instead of saying my code, you're going to open up my code first, and it's going to change it to say keyboard race. Now, since the class is renamed to keyboard race, you'll have to change that also down in main. It'll also say keyboard race instead of my code. Once you have the class and main renamed, then you can do a file save as and rename your project, your Java file, as keyboard race as well. Okay, so once you have your my code renamed to keyboard race, you're going to add a couple of variables. Variables, if you remember, are in the variables cohere section. Okay, so I have an int for the location of where my character is on the screen, and it's an int because it's in pixels and you can't have half a pixel. I also have the x location of where the computer is on the screen. Now I do want to print out a message that says go, or you win or you lose, or whatever your message is. So I have a string called sMessage just to specify that, oh, this is what my message is. It's going to be some text. I am keeping track of the time. Now normally seconds is a whole number, but my timer speed is set to 50. That will keep my computer going pretty fast. And so since the delay is 50 milliseconds, that means my timer code is getting executed 20 times per second. And so if I am just going up by ones, my timer wouldn't be going in seconds, it would be going too fast. So I have my time set as a float. That way it can go up by 0.05 seconds at a time, and that would make it in seconds. Okay, so now I kept my init as all the defaults, and then in my draw I'm doing a couple things here. I'm setting the color to cyan for my square, and then I draw it. But when I draw it, I don't put a number here in the x location. Instead, I put that variable. So that's actually 10 pixels over. All right. Then I change the color to pink so I can print the computers out, and the computer is based on that variable as well. I'm not putting in a number, I'm putting a variable in the x location. That way, wherever it's drawn, if that value is changed, it's drawing wherever that value currently is. Now these are a little bit more standard, well, still thing. I'm drawing text inside the rectangles, so I'm also drawing that based upon the x locations of you and the computer. Then I'm drawing a finish line, so it says finish line, and it draws a little rectangle to represent the finish line. This is what draws the message on the screen, so instead of putting text here, I put sMessage, so it says go at first until you win, then the message changes. Now this one I do want to go through a little bit. This is the timer, so it says timer : and then it's going to print out the timer, but I have this weird int thing right here. My timer is a float, so it would probably, if it was like 3 point, it would display decimals all the way across the screen. I think it goes to about 7 decimal places. So instead, I just want to show the whole number. So I'm putting this parentheses int in front of my time. That way it chops the decimal places off for the display only. It doesn't actually change the variable. It only displays the whole number. And then it has the location of where that's being displayed. Okay, so that's the code for my draw method. Now let's show you the code for the keyboard press. So on the keyboard press, I have a variable here. And I have the main code that it's doing is this int ux plus equals 5. So all I'm doing is adding 5 pixels to that x position. It started at 10, then it's adding 5, so it's going to be 15, and then 20 every time you press the keyboard down. Now, I have this in an if statement though, because as soon as the computer crosses the finish line, I don't want to be able to cheat and win. So I have an if statement here that's saying if the timer speed is 50, then go ahead and allow me to move. If the timer speed is not 50, that means the race is over and I don't want to be able to move, so it would skip this code. Okay, so now I have the same thing for when I cross the finish line. My finish line was 700 pixels over, so if my X is greater than 700, that means I just won the race, and I change the message to say you win, and I kind of stop the timer, and I do that by changing my timer speed to, what is this, a huge number, so it's not stopping the timer, it's just executing the timer every 50 seconds, so it appears to be stopped. If you actually sit there and wait for a minute, your timer will go up and you'll be able to kind of see that. So it's a little hack we did just kind of to keep things simple for this project. There is ways to stop the timer, but I'm not going to go into that in this class. Okay, so now my timer code, this is what's making the computer go. First it's incrementing my time. My time is going up by 0.05 seconds, because remember our timer is executing 20 times per second. Then I make my computer move. I'm changing the X location of where the computer is by 5, so he's counting up 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, all the way until he crosses the finish line. And he's already being displayed at wherever this variable is, so it appears as though the computer character is moving across the screen. Now, if the computer's X goes beyond 700 pixels, that means the computer wins, and then I stop my timer. And that is it. That is the code for this. Good luck with the homework. Try and do this one first, and then just modify this project to do what you want your homework to do.